Hello, everyone, and welcome to Drive Pink Stadium. I'm your host, Nicholas Cruz, and tonight's match is the home team, intermiamicf, taking on the away team, Nashville SC. Now, of course, this U.S. Open Cup match is the round of 16. We've seen that a lot of teams have battle contested and have fought hard to get to this point. But I want to bring up a very specific point that is probably going to be really huge later on tonight's match as part of my analysis. First off, let's talk about a couple of matches with intermiamicf as they have gone back to some of their struggling ways with a couple of losses, one including Nashville. So they had already a little taste of what it's like to have that Southern fried burn. But can Inter Miami come back from it after a 2-1 loss to Nashville just a few games ago? I think tonight, after learning some tactical changes, I think tonight Inter Miami's learned their lesson, have gotten a feel for them. So this is a good preparation for them. Meanwhile, Nashville has been staying a little bit of that Nashville hot, making sure that they're staying strong. And I would say definitely look out for one of their key players and a good friend of mine back in the Fort Lauderdale Striker days, Fafa Picalt. Hey, like he says, the feet don't sleep. He is the gazelle. He's quick. He knows how to strike. And he definitely knows how to defeat defense if they're going to be sleeping on him. So that is going to become my key analysis for tonight as these two heavyweights go at it. It's the round of 16 here in the U.S. Open Cup match. Let's hope to see some fireworks on the field. Until then, stick around. We got more highlights, videos, interviews. Like, subscribe, and let's get ready for intermiamicf versus Nashville SC. And as for joining now post-game analysis, we've seen a victory for Inter Miami winning 2-1 against over Nashville. Now, one of the key things I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast was that in fact that the weather was going to be a factor. We also noticed how important it was that they played each other last game and that Inter Miami lost 2-1 against Nashville. But tonight they take away the victory 2-1. to move on to the next round here for the U.S. Open Cup. But don't go away. We have more interviews, highlights, and more exclusives, so make sure you're liking, subscribing, and following us for more. You're not going to miss this next interview as we go ahead and meet with a good old friend, Fafa Pakal. Stick around. Hey everyone, I'm Nicholas Cruz, joined with Fafa Pakal. Fafa, it's been such a long time since we finally got to see each other. You know, things have changed. You know, before this was Lockhart Stadium, now it's Drive Pink Stadium. The only thing that hasn't changed, of course, is the Florida weather. But how does it feel to be back home right now, seeing some family and friends?
Yeah, it's always nice to be back, get to play in front of my family, all my friends, and just being on home turf. Obviously, it's an away game, but it's always going to be home to me. So getting to see familiar faces, even people working at the club that I grew up with, and familiar faces in the crowd, it's always a nice thing. Obviously, we didn't get the result, but it's just great to be back home.
Well, it's good to see you again as well, and knowing, because we're talking about how the weather has been a factor here for tonight's match. What was it like on there? Was it slippery? Was there a lot of turf damage? What was it like out there?
Pitch was okay. I think the delay was probably what affected anything, if anything. It's a bit tough when you have to go back in, wait for the lightning to clear, and then mentally stay sharp. And it kind of affected us coming right back out. We weren't fresh, but there's nothing to blame. Both teams had to deal with the similar circumstances. So now we have to focus on our league, and the cup's over for us, unfortunately.
Well, Fafa, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you for taking a couple minutes out of your time. Stay dry out there. I know you got your towel ready to rock and roll out there, but, from here and else, from the former team of strikers and everything, thank you for coming by. You're always family here, and we love you, and welcome back home for a short time.
It's mutual, man. Love you guys as well. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. Now I'm back here with Schneider. Borgelin, huge win tonight against Nashville, especially here in the round of 16. We had some weather delays, but, hey, typical Florida weather, right? So what was it like here in the match tonight as you get subbed in, coming in with some weather delays? How do you mentally prepare for that?
Obviously, it's something that we just have to get over, obstacles. But, I think the rain delay actually helped us a little bit, kind of help us get back on our feet, just have a mental break and then, regroup as a group and as a team. But getting back out there was really good, especially for me to kind of just shift the game, try to hold the ball up as much as I can, apply pressure and just be an outlet for my team. But, overall, I think we did well. So happy for the win.
Speaking about a great win tonight, of course, you guys had a couple of losses. But, the first thing I was saying, especially when I was talking to the head coach, Neville, about flipping the script. How do we move on from a couple losses, especially Nashville was one of them. You guys lost 2-1. But the revenge has been served nice and cold, just like the weather outside tonight. And I'm sure the bragging rights must be feeling good, especially moving on to the next round.
Yeah, most definitely. Obviously, it hurts losing at, Nashville a couple weeks ago. But, tonight it was just a great win, honestly, and a great feeling for the team, especially the fans as well. They deserved it, and we deserved it as well. So, obviously we're going to keep this momentum going, especially into the next round. And, we're just happy to hopefully win the U.S. Open Cup. So, looking forward to it.
With only a couple of matches left, way to get there to the championship game, what are some key things you want to see differently moving on to your next opponents?
Honestly, we're not even worried about our next opponents. We're just kind of worried about ourselves. We have an 0-6 mentality in the locker room, and that's overcoming adversity no matter what it is, and everyone has to be on the same page. And honestly, we're just going to go in and just, focus on ourselves and win as much as we can. So looking forward to it.
You said a really good quote, overcoming adversity, and there's a great quote that I use, and for those who are watching us who are going through difficult times, I always say, from the great Dr. Martin Luther King says, if you can overcome adversity, it shows true definition of character. And you guys came out tonight, despite the weather delay, playing out hard and coming out with a giant victory. Borgelin, thank you so much for having me with me tonight.
I thought the guys enjoyed the atmosphere in terms of the cup atmosphere. We challenged them for the last 2 days about their standards and their identity, and what we're really focusing on now is trying to create history for this football club. Is to get a trophy in that cabinet over there that at this moment in time has only got academy medals in, academy trophies in. So that's the challenge for us. We have another game in our schedule which we are loving. It's tough for the boys. We are literally down to the bare bones in terms of our roster, but I think we just have to utilize what we've got, how we use them, and I think the most important thing is that this set of players, the way they make me proud is that over the last 18 months we've had to suffer real adversity at times. After Saturday's game, we we've been suffering. We've been getting criticism, rightly so. We've had to suffer in terms of that. We've had to take that. And I always think that set of boys never cave in. That set of boys never give up. That set of players actually perform and deliver is the reason why we brought them to this football club. We brought them to this football club because we brought characters to this football club, good people, hungry players, people that was going to fight, people that were going to play for the team and not for themselves. I think that's what sets this group of players up. Can we be better? Yes. Can we play a better style or can we create more chances? Yeah, we can do a lot better in a lot of phases. But I don't think anyone can question the character, the belief, the spirit of this team and this football club when things go slightly wrong. You know, I think we're not naive enough to think that we're there yet. We're nowhere near there yet. And we're not naive enough to think that we have to deliver for those supporters. Those supporters are the ones that is the reason why we're playing. There's a reason why we fight. And we want to make them happy. I want to make them happy. That's important. And these players have never, ever, ever, ever let me down. And I think the character that they show week in, week out, sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, is that I know when it comes to the crunch that they will run through a brick wall for this football club. And I think that should make us all very proud. That should keep us positive. And we go again in 3 days' time. And the players that the individual that I'm really happy for tonight is Stefanelli. Stefanelli, you know, I said a few things to him after the game on Saturday, and he responded incredibly tonight. That goal will help him. He is a top player. And he came in here, he's played well, and then we just had to take him out the firing line a little bit. Now I think he'll explode.
We'll get started with questions now. Michelle Kaufman first.
Congratulations, Phil. Obviously, it was a big game. You know, you started almost your whole starting lineup and everything. Just how important was this game for your team, and you know, and how important is it for you guys to advance to the first quarterfinals in team history?
Yeah, I think the I don't think there's time for rotation. I really don't. You know, I sat down and I spoke to Joseph and Leo yesterday. And Leo in particular, I spoke to him, and we've had a couple of conversations over the last 3 weeks. And I said to him really yesterday and he was fantastic. I said, Leo, where you want to get to? He's a really ambitious guy. He's got more talent than any striker probably that, you know, that I've worked with at times. Where you want to get to, the types of levels that you want to get to, the best players play every week. The best players start every single game. And if you're someone from the outside and you're seeing that someone can only play 1 game a week or can only play 45 minutes, then there is a doubt there. And I think what he's done over the last 3 weeks, he's proven that now he's ready and he's durable and he's good to go. And he's feeling as good as he's ever done. These continual games will make him stronger. And you don't get hard or you don't get durable by sat on the bench. You don't get durable by being rested. We did that early on, which was the right process. And now with them two, they're going to play every single game. They're going to play every single game. They're getting better together. I thought Joseph tonight probably had his best game for this football club. And on Saturday against Orlando, he looks fit. He looks hungry. And I think now we're just going to go with it. And was that your question?
No, it was kind of possible, but just that it was an important game.
It was an important game. We want to win the US Open Cup. And I think when you set out at the start of the season, you prioritize things. And what we said at the start of the season is we're going to go full tilt in every competition. Now you could see with Nashville tonight that their starting 11 probably told you a lot about where their priority lies. They played Columbus, they played Charlotte in the game previous. They've been on the road, and they are a consistent unit who are probably second in the league, who can afford to make those changes. We can't afford to make those changes. 1, because we want to win, and 2, because I think we're not in the right form to experiment with players in different positions. So we're going to go for it. I don't know. The game's tomorrow, I think, between Birmingham and Charlotte. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll find out who we play, whether it's Charlotte or Birmingham. We'll be going there and we'll be playing full hit again. And that's the only way to be. The best players want to play in every game. And, you know, I think the last 2 or 3 days or the last week has been a real education in terms of our educating the players about you should want to play in every single game. If you think about the basketball, we've seen some incredible basketball at this moment in time in the conference finals. They're playing every 2 nights. They're playing 87 games a season. They're flying from East Coast to West Coast, playing night after night after night. LeBron James doesn't get rested. LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, they do not get rested. That's why they're the best. They train through the games. They do the stuff that's needed to be the best. And that's what we're educating them on at this moment in time.
Javier, then Franco.
Good evening, Coach. Can you talk a little bit about Ian Frey, another young talent brought up to the first team, played today, center defensive midfield. He's a center back and did a good job. Can you talk a little bit about his first start for you guys?
Well, he actually played a lot of his academy career at centre midfield. It's only when he went to USL and then to MLS. USL, he's not played MLS2 really, apart from last week, where he went a little bit to the back. So he's played a lot of his career in centre midfield. We thought, no, we knew that he was ready. He's been training really hard. We thought we tried him. We played him on Saturday for 10 minutes just to give him that feel. He's another homegrown player that we've put into the team, and I think you can see from the first 14 to 15 games that we're gonna give these young players opportunities and chances, and we're gonna stick with them. We're gonna believe in them. There's 2 or 3 more kids that will get opportunities over the next 4 or 5 weeks. It was Ian's turn tonight, Schneider's turn tonight. In the past, it's been other players' turns. We've got a group of 5 or 6 that are playing a big part in that spirit in there. They're coming in with their energy, with their freshness, and Ian has got a big future. I think the one thing I'd say is we've got to keep our feet on the ground. The kid has had 2 years without football, and we've got to keep building him and building him and building him. He's not played 90 minutes in 2 years. So tonight was a big ask. He cramped in both legs, and but we're super proud. He was super emotional after the game last night, tonight, and we've got some outstanding young players.
Franco.
Phil Rafa may curse at me here, but I have 2 questions for you. The first one, on the game, there was the weather delay there, and they had just scored. What was the message to the team there to come out? And then obviously Nico scores seconds later after the game restarts.
Yeah,
that's the first one. I do have a second one for you based on what we saw on social media yesterday from one of the largest supporters groups in La Familia. You just touched on wanting to make the fans happy, but what do you think you have to do and this team has to do to help turn around that sentiment, especially regarding you?
Yeah, I was really angry when I came in for the rain delay because of that lack of concentration. I thought we let a man go down the right hand side. We didn't defend the cross well, and I felt as if that time we were controlling the game. And but what I would say, as soon as we went to the rain delay, I just have a feeling that we're going to win those games. I think we're experienced at it. We enjoy it. It brought us back in. It gave us maybe 10-15 minutes rest, and we got some fluid inside them. Just before the rain delay, we were going to take a striker off. We were making 2 substitutions. That gave us time to give Leo an extra 10-15 minutes of massage and stretching and fluid. So it gave us a little bit more time to make the substitution. And I think Nico's first touch of the game was a goal. So I think that was good and pleasing. And I always think that when we have these rain delays, is that we're experienced at it. We half enjoy it, and it almost toughens us up, that adversity. In terms of the reaction from the fans from Saturday, I honestly love our fans. I really do. I understand their frustration. I'm frustrated. I've been brought to this football club to deliver, and I've had incredible backing from the supporters and from the ownership here. And I think when you think about the ownership and their businesses, they're very loyal people. They're ruthless people, but loyal people. I think they know the work that we're doing. They trust the work that me and Chris are doing. The supporters are 100% behind the team. I know that from how they behaved on Saturday. Saturday was one of the best atmospheres ever. I understand their frustrations. For the negative comments that I've seen, I've had incredible support as well from our La Familia, and I feel one of them, and I want to deliver. I want to help this club deliver for those supporters. And all I would say is that keep trusting us. We want to deliver. We'll keep working hard, and that we are doing this for them. And I think that's key. I love them.
Last question, Xavier.
Coach, you talked about freshness. Today, Stefanelli and Coco looked like completely different players in the part that Stefanelli looked incredible, running all over the field and aggressive. Specifically, Coco, he was taking players on. He hadn't been doing that earlier. What clicked today with these guys?
Well, Coco and Stefanelli have come out the team. They, you know, when we went to the three midfield, Coco and Stefanelli came out the team. So they've had 2 weeks of probably Coco played the last 2 games, but before that he'd had 3 games, no games. Stefanelli's not played for 3 games. He's played minimal minutes, say. So they should be fresh. They should be fresh. Think about Dixon Araujo, who's in there, who's played every minute of every game, who's on his own in there in terms of a central midfield player. We had to rest Ben Hart tonight. Sergi's fresh now. Kamal's played in every single minute of every game. Franco's had a rest. DeAndre had a rest in a couple of games. So we're just going to have to manage the minutes. But I think what you saw from Stefanelli and Coco tonight, you saw the benefit of in those wide positions and Robert Taylor is that you have to have freshness in those positions. The amount of work that's expected of them is inhumane really at times. So we're going to have to rotate them. They're going to have to come into the team, out the team, play 60, 30 minutes, whatever. But I think that was Coco's first 90 minutes of the whole season. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tonight, you know, he's probably been a sub that we've made on 60, 70, 80 minutes. I think 81 minutes was his most minutes. So tonight and on Saturday, I think we've seen what we've seen with Coco is someone that's played with real aggression and freshness. And the 3 wingers, I thought helped us win the game tonight.
Thank you.
Stefanelli, if you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll start with Michelle, then Franco.
Nico, I'll ask in English. Phil said that he spoke to you after the game the other day, that he had some advice for you or some words for you or whatever, and that you really responded. And that he was so happy that you got to score tonight. What did he tell you after the game the other day? And if you could just talk about what, you know, how did you feel to coming off the bench and immediately score a goal like that?
No, I can say like what he said to me, he put my confidence high again. You know, as a attacking midfielder or as a striker that I play, you always try to score goals and help the team. And I was feeling this period of the last games that I couldn't, you know, find the last pass or find the goal that I really wanted. And he spoke to me, and then he put my confidence up again. Between me and him, I prefer to stay like that. But Phil, as I say, he put confidence on me. He made me ready. We are a team that we need. If I play like 20 minutes, we need 100%, 105% in this 20 minutes. I think tonight we did our job. We are in the next stage.
Nico, buen gol.
Nice.
Las sensaciones como equipo en lo colectivo después de venir de un clásico que perdieron en casa, que fue frustrante para ustedes, igual que los hinchas, los aficionados. Ganar este partido, llegar a la próxima ronda, ¿cuáles son las sensaciones ahorita en el vestuario con el equipo?
No, o sea, es muy positivo. Creo que el equipo no estuvo nunca en cuartos de final de la Copa, poder pasar ante un gran rival que son ellos. Estamos a 3 partidos de ser campeón de un trofeo, que es lo que queremos, lo que nos ponemos en la cabeza. Sí, nos duele el partido de Orlando, pero sabíamos que tenemos revancha, que era hoy, creo que fueron 56 horas después del partido. Teníamos que ganar, teníamos que pasar de ronda, lo hicimos. Ahora es tiempo de recuperarse. Sabemos que es una temporada larga, que hay muchos puntos en juego todavía. Creo que el equipo se vio bien. Creo que en el primer tiempo fuimos dominantes. Conseguimos el gol y bueno, ellos claramente en las transiciones quedaban mucho espacio, pero es lo que vos arriesgás por ir a atacar. Entonces nosotros creo que tenemos la idea de atacar y más estando de local, y van a haber momentos en que ellos quizás de contraataque y más con los jugadores de jerarquía que tienen arriba, que nos iban a tratar de generar ocasiones. Pero bueno, el partido lo ganamos, en los últimos minutos lo manejamos bien, estuvo esto de la tormenta, súper raro. Tratamos de seguir concentrados la media hora, creo que fue una media hora, 40 minutos que estuvimos en el vestuario. Y bueno, como te dije, positivo. Ahora pensarnos en recuperarnos. Tenemos un viaje, otro partido en MLS, así que a ir con todo, a ir allá y tratar de conseguir los puntos.
Felicidades por gol, Nico.
Muchas gracias.
Hoy luciste muy agresivo, como dijiste, agresivo también atacando con el balón y en defensa. Hablaste que el entrenador habló contigo y te dio confianza. ¿Qué tan importante es para un jugador?
Hablé mucho con, con Javi Morales, con Seba Saja, con Darren. Están ahí siempre atrás de todos nosotros, de cómo podemos mejorar, de cómo pueden hacernos mejores jugadores todos los días. Y creo que eso es súper importante. Seguimos creciendo como equipo. Al jugador, yo lo que dije, venía con unas semanas que no me encontraba en el juego, no me encontraba con el gol, no podía ayudar al equipo y aún no entra como en el pensamiento de la frustración que es bueno que alguien de afuera venga y te diga, Nico, pienso esto, esto y esto, confiamos en vos, tranquilo que el gol va a salir. Y bueno, justo se dio lo que, lo que ellos dijeron, así que súper contento con eso, súper contento con el cuerpo técnico y con todos que brindan su apoyo y tiran para adelante.
Franco.
Nico, sé, y lo hemos conversado varias veces, que puede jugar varias posiciones. Pero en esta temporada, un equipo nuevo, donde el equipo también se está acomodando, ¿dónde te has sentido lo más cómodo tú? Has jugado varias posiciones. Has jugado delantero, has jugado por izquierda, has jugado de media punta. Entonces, ¿dónde te has sentido más cómodo este año, hasta este momento?
No sé, depende, ¿viste? Porque mucho tiene que ver con los partidos. Por ejemplo, hoy si creo, a mí me gusta la posición de número 10, pero ponele, si hoy jugaba de número 10 no iba a tener los espacios, porque ellos al jugar con un contención solo, que te iba a marcar para todos lados, no iba a tener espacio. Entonces, en un partido como hoy sí prefiero jugar por fuera, donde quizás así por sorpresa, atrás de los dos delanteros, puedes tirar una diagonal o recibir la pelota en los cuadrados que están libres, que ellos, bueno, ellos juegan con un diamante, entonces casi siempre está afuera, porque al 8 y a su 11, que es medio difícil, les cuesta mucho salir afuera. Entonces los espacios estaban por ahí. No tengo preferencia, me gusta jugar cerca del arco, casi siempre. Hoy estuve, cuando entré, cerca del arco, después como se dio el partido tuvimos que defender un poco, que es normal para estar 2-1, faltando 10 minutos que termine el partido, una clasificación a cuartos de final, revoluciones a 1000. Y eso, o sea, no tengo preferencia, me gusta estar cerca del arco y ver, dependiendo el rival, dónde van a encontrar los espacios.
Perfecto. Gracias, Nico.
Ahí estamos.
Gracias a
Gracias,
todos.
chicos. Buenas noches. Que estén bien.